Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, I'm Don1, and I am back with another video. We're going to be talking about David Griffin. David Griffin pulled his name from consideration of being Knicks GM. To me, when you look at this, it's a good look and it's a good move for David Griffin, all right? And I'm going to tell you why. David Griffin, he's leaving one problem and one headache with owners such as Dan Gilbert, who really don't necessarily meet eye to eye with GMs and view them as garbage by lowballing them with salaries. And he's going to another organization that's dysfunctional, and they have the same outlook and the same viewpoint on how they view GMs. Now, they pay them, but when it gets down to it, when it gets down to the nuts and balls of everything, they're not going to meet with them eye to eye. They're not going to see his agenda. They're not going to see his vision. And he's basically the sponge of the blame game. Okay? So when he pulled his name from the Cleveland Cavaliers, I already knew that weeks ago. David Griffin already got an offer from the Orlando Magic, and that's dangling on top of his head. So he's got that carrot. So it's not necessarily meaning that David Griffin has to pick up the first job. He's not in that type of predicament or position. And even if he doesn't want the Orlando Magic job, you know, he can also get a great TV gig. You know, his time with LeBron James, I'm pretty sure ESPN will love to have him as a consultant, particularly on NBA news as well as the Cleveland Cavaliers. So if he wants attention, if he wants money, he has the position to get that type of title, to get that type of, if you want to call it, respect, okay? Now, to me, I felt like, excuse me about that, to me, I felt like this was all just part of the game. I didn't think David Griffin was fully involved or interested in the Knicks job, because right now, what can he do to make this team better right now? Clearly nothing. The draft is over with. They already drafted those players, which, by the way, those players that they drafted this year was going to fit around Phil Jackson, and Phil Jackson is trying to reiterate the triangle offense, okay? He doesn't have the necessarily parts and pieces to make that work. And also, this is a different type of era with the NBA, all right? The NBA is not that era no more. It's more fast-paced. You can clearly win a lot of games without having a dominant center, okay? The center position is lackluster, to say the least, okay? So, to me, I felt like, you know, what Phil Jackson was trying to implement with the New York Knicks organization, ultimately, he was not going to see the bigger picture and the goal of it, because either he was going to get fired or they were going to release him. Either way, they was going to pull up on Phil Jackson, so to say, and, you know, let him go, cut him loose. The only reason why James Dolan kept Phil Jackson, because once again, James Dolan really has, he doesn't really have a good, fond relationship with GMs, players of operation. He was using Phil Jackson as a sponge to soak up the blame that's going on with the New York Knicks. You know, Phil Jackson, the real reason why he lost his job was because Phil Jackson was at the position and at the predicament of saying, yo, like, yo, this is not clearly working with Carmelo Anthony. Nobody is willing to trade. Nobody really wants Carmelo Anthony's salary, per se, and they're not going to give me anything that I can utilize for the future. All right. So Phil Jackson was under the assumption that he was going to let go of Carmelo Anthony, let Carmelo Anthony go, give him a buyout and let him simply walk away. Okay, and that was basically going down. The only reason why it didn't transpire and didn't go down because James Dolan looked at that move and considered that a weak move. That wasn't a move that was going to make the team better. Plus, James Dolan has a fondness for Carmelo Anthony. All right. Now, the two destinations Carmelo Anthony wants to go to is the Houston Rockets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers have absolutely zero diddly squat to offer Carmelo Anthony. All right. So the only way Carmelo Anthony is going to join the Cleveland Cavaliers is if he's released. Okay. And clearly that's not going to happen. All right. So their next logical option of getting rid of Carmelo Anthony is trading Carmelo Anthony to the Houston Rockets. Now, what can the Houston Rockets offer? The Houston Rockets are willing to give them money. The Houston Rockets are willing to give them draft picks, okay? Even future draft picks, okay? So that's an intriguing offer when you look at it with the New York Knicks side of things, of saying, yo, we can finally get something for Carmelo Anthony. All right, and we're all going to have to wait and see what transpires after that. So that's pretty much what's been going on. You know, hey, David Griffin, that was a good name to drop. If you are a New York Knicks fan, if you live in the New York City area, the New York Knicks organization, that was a good name, I guess, you know, to give hope, to put hope back into the fan base. But I kept telling you guys weeks ago that this was never going to transpire. This was never going to happen. And David Griffin has the pick of the litter, okay? So David Griffin is looking at it like, yo, why am I only going to just choose the New York Knicks when I got all these other teams at my disposal? And if I don't find nothing this year, I can theoretically just hold back until next year, particularly when the next summer is going to be the big summer for free agency, and I can get a GM gig then. Okay, I can be the piece that people will say, oh, whoa, yo, wait a minute, David Griffin is going to, let's just say hypothetically, the LA Lakers. Well, whoa, I mean, that's a name that LeBron James trusts. LeBron James wouldn't mind going to the LA Lakers because David Griffin is there. I'm just using that for an example, okay? So he can wait theoretically next year, and he'll get even a better gig and get paid even more money and have even more power than what he currently has right now. He can just stay packed and just be an announcer for ESPN and just wait it out for a year, okay? So David Griffin, he has options, all right? And he knows that, and that's why he didn't choose the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks is not a good, viable option right now, okay? And it is what it is. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe, please. Notification gang in the building. Hit that notification icon, that notification bell, so it'll let you know when my next video or live stream is going down. It's your boy, I'm Chris the Don One, and I am out of here. Hey, have a great Monday.